Alright, welcome to my YouTube channel. Time for another YouTube video talking about wrestling. Alright, haven't done one of these in a while, so we're going to start off with Raw. Emanated from California, I think. December 4th, 2017 edition. Started with Kurt Angle coming out, basically saying who's going to fight Roman Reigns for the IC title. And then Jason Jordan comes out and basically says how I deserve an opportunity because I'm your storyline son. Basically, Jason Jordan says I don't attack people from behind because Samoa Joe comes out and he's like, oh, I don't attack people from behind. And then he attacks Roman Reigns from behind. Big surprise. Then we get Jason Jordan versus Roman Reigns, which was a good back and forth match. Roman Reigns wins to continue pushing Roman Reigns because he's IC champion and Vince McMahon wants him to be champion, maybe going into WrestleMania, so he can have the Ultimate Warrior spot of winning the WWE title and having the IC title. And then Joe comes down the ramp to the ring, starts attacking Roman. Jason Jordan does a suplex to Joe to pull him off. Roman Reigns does a Superman punch to Jason Jordan because of the fact that Jason Jordan attacked him first before the match. And then we get what do we get? A backstage segment? No. Sasha versus Paige. Sasha Banks versus Paige, I should say. Paige wins because of interference from her new faction, Absolution, which is Paige, Mandy Rose, and Daria Baronato. Mandy Rose and Daria Baronato are from Tough Enough. 2013? I think. So yeah, Paige wins because of a distraction, obviously. And basically that keeps their faction strong because it's not like their faction and they're losing all the time. And then we get a fatal four-way with Cruiserweight fatal four-way. Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Drew Gulak, and Tony Nese. Drew Gulak wins because he steals the pin from Cedric Alexander because he's a heel. So that's what heels do. They steal victories and win off distractions. And so next week on Raw, we're going to get Drew Gulak versus Rich Swann to see who's the number one contender for the Cruiserweight title. I hope Rich Swann wins because I think Rich Swann's a better wrestler than Drew Gulak. So that's my reason and I'm sticking to it. Then we get Braun destroying Elias Sampson. It wasn't even a match. It was just destruction. And then Kane is appearing on the Titantron, basically saying he's going to have a match against Braun Strowman next week. So Kane versus Braun. I don't like either one of them, so yay for those of you out there who do. Then we get Asuka versus Alicia Fox. Asuka wins. And then Absolution comes out. Then other factions, Sonya, Mandy, and Paige. They let Asuka leave the ring. Don't know why. And then Paige calls Fox her best friend, says she loves her. And then she's like, oh, I don't want to hurt you. But I can't say the same for Sonya and Mandy. So Sonya and Mandy attack her. And then Absolution leaves the ring and Alicia Fox is left laying in the ring. Then we get Finn Balor versus Bo Dallas. This was basically a throwaway match. Finn Balor wins, obviously. Because Bo Dallas is a jobber, so... Then we get the Raw Tag Team Championship match, The Shield versus The Bar. The Bar originally won by DQ because Sheamus wouldn't stop beating up Seth Rollins. And then we get then it gets turned into a no DQ match because Kurt Angle comes out and restarts it. And Sheamus and Cesaro win because Samoa Joe interfered on their behalf. So, same heel booking, basically. Interference and the heels win. And then we go to SmackDown. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens kick off SmackDown with a promo. Sami's basically saying how, oh, this is where, when he's inside the ring, this is inside the ring. When he's ringside, it's ringside. When he's on the stage, he's it's something different. He doesn't call it on the stage. He says it specifically is something different. So then we get Shane McMahon and Randy Orton coming out. Well, first Randy does an RKO to Kevin Owens, and then we get Shane coming out, and Sammy's like, what the? So, basically, we get a match announced: Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens is going to be handcuffed to ringside. And then we get the New Day versus Rusev and Aiden English. So basically, Rusev and Aiden English win, and they're added to the title match at Clash of Champions, not Night of Champions. Used to be Night of Champions a year ago, literally. Now it's Clash of Champions. So, WCW pay-per-views are back, everybody. Yay. Anyway, Rusev and Aiden win, and they're added to the tag title match, which is now a Fatal 4-Way. And then we get Daniel Bryan backstage with the women, the Riott Squad. Wait, no. There's two T's, so yeah, Riott Squad. So the Riott Squad is Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan, which all three of them are from NXT. Sarah Logan was in the Mae Young Classic, if anybody watched that. It was great. Then Tamina, Lana, and Carmella are back there, and they're basically all going to be lumberjacks. So there's those six, and maybe Naomi. They said she was injured, but that might be like kayfabe, basically. And then we get Charlotte we get the Bludgeon Brothers versus Jobbers. Bludgeon Brothers win to keep them strong so they can lose to a better tag team. Maybe the New Day, maybe the Usos. I would hate it if they lost to Rusev and Aiden English because I don't like Rusev and Aiden English. Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode. This ends in a no contest because Dolph Ziggler's on commentary and he attacks both of them because he's in the U.S. title match at Clash of Champions. Why I feel like WWE did that? Because Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode by themselves would be boring. And I'd be okay with Ziggler winning the title because I like Ziggler better than I do Bobby Roode or Baron Corbin. Then we get Charlotte Flair versus Tamina. We haven't had a Snuka versus Flair in a while. Since their dads fought each other. So, yeah, it was cool to see Tamina in the ring again. Charlotte wins with the submission, the figure 8. The fans, this says memorable moments in quotes. The fans were chanting, "We want Lana." The Riott Squad said that they're here, or Ruby Riott said that they're here for your freezer presentation. Liv Morgan said, "No one is safe when a riot is about to break out." So basically the Riott Squad come out and they're just talking. Basically they're just cutting promo or whatever. And as they're walking to the ring, of course. And so basically a riot. They say a riot's about to break out. They're talking. They stand there. Tamina throws the first punch, and then the Riott Squad break up the fight between Tamina and Sarah Logan. So, why they didn't just have them fight as opposed to breaking it up? Basically because they had to save time for the main event, Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn, which Randy Orton wins, and then Sami and Kevin try to attack them after the match, but Nakamura and Randy get the upper hand. And Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be Randy Orton's partner at Clash of Champions. So basically, Nakamura hits a Kinshasa on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and Randy hits a RKO on both of them. And then Shane and Daniel Bryan are backstage. Shane says, "I'm special guest referee for their tag match. And if they don't win, they're not going to be fired just from SmackDown. They'll be fired from all WWE," which is WWE's way of telling you Kevin Dunn, Big Teeth Boy himself, and Vince. Kevin Dunn. A big buck tooth. Kevin Dunn. Anyway, I try to be a little bit more animated in these things because it's kind of boring just talking by myself. Anyway, so yeah, Sami and Kevin are going to win because they're not going to get fired. All right, now to NXT. Oh yeah, and by the way, Charlotte winning, I liked it because Charlotte's cool. She's a good wrestler. Some people say she's overhyped, but I like her. Then we get NXT. All right, so it starts off with William Regal. He's the GM of NXT. For anybody who didn't know, basically saying how we're gonna have a contenders matches for the contenders match. Like, we're gonna have a series of one-on-ones to see who gets into a fatal four-way. And who says Velvet Team Dream was supposed to be in the main event, but he's injured from TakeOver, so Cassius Ohno is going to be in the main event with somebody else, but we'll get to that when we get to that. First, we get Andrade, Cien Almas, and Selena Vega, a.k.a. Dia Trinidad, a.k.a. Rosita from TNA, and Dia Trinidad. Obviously, if y'all didn't know, she has a YouTube channel. So, yeah, her YouTube channel is TMT. I believe. I know I follow her, so I'm pretty sure I know her YouTube channel. Or I'm subscribed to her YouTube channel. And I follow her on Twitter. So basically, they come out and say how, Andrade's not really doing the talking. Selena's doing the talking, basically saying how he's going to be a historic champion, that we should all respect the legend. Then they leave, and Lars Sullivan is like basically met with the media guys that are just random guys holding mics like this and holding their phones up and sticking it in his face, and he's basically like, "Oh, Lars, what would it mean to you? What would it mean for you to be NXT champion?" And he's like, "Oh, well, it'd be great for me to be NXT champion because then everybody would know the greatness that is Lars Sullivan." And he says he doesn't care who the champion is. Could be Andrade, could be Roddy. Doesn't matter who it is. Apparently, Roderick Strong is getting a title shot in 2 weeks in Philly. So, I didn't hear William Regal say that, but that's apparently what's going to happen. Maybe it got announced at some point. Basically, we get Killian Dane versus Trent Seven. Killian Dane wins, and so a member of Sanity's in the Fatal 4-Way. I mean, he's a heel, so I don't particularly like Killian Dane. Like, I would prefer for Trent Seven could have won this match, but he didn't. I mean, he's a UK guy, so he's got the UK championship to fight for, so it's fine. And then we get Adam Cole. Oh, I forgot to talk about Raw. A broken Matt Hardy is on Raw now, and he's going to be in a feud with Bray Wyatt. So that'll be cool because everybody wants to see Broken Matt versus Bray. Broken Matt, of course, is a character from TNA. If you don't know about Broken Matt, look him up because he's good character, pretty cool character. Does some of the final deletion stuff. He did one with Jeff, did one as a tag team, and did another one with Jeff. Well, I think the last one was with Jeff. Anyway, the Undisputed Era are backstage, and Adam Cole's basically saying how they're gonna run NXT. They won They won NXT War Games, which is true, obviously. And then he says how he's gonna fight Aleister Black next week to see who gets in the Fatal 4-Way. So that match should be good. And then Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are saying how they're gonna fight Sanity and how they're gonna win the NXT tag titles. And Bobby Fish says how they're gonna shock the system. Shout out to Culture Shock, which was the tag team with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole in the Indies, of course, Ring of Honor. Then we get Sonya Deville versus Ruby Riott. And then no holds barred match. Who wins? Oh, yeah, Sonya Deville wins. Which is, I don't know. They're both heels on the main roster, so it doesn't really matter what they do on NXT now. Then we get Ember Moon doing another little mic promo where they're holding the mic in her face, and they're holding their phones in her face. Basically, she says how she's gonna be the NXT Women's Champion for as long as she wants. And Bailey Kay and Peyton Royce come up and say how they're gonna beat her and earn a title opportunity. And then we get an announcement that Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne is going to happen in 2 weeks. So that match is going to be good because that was like match of the year candidate when it happened. When it happened on the NXT TakeOver one time. And, we basically get a backstage segment of William Regal telling Cassius Ohno who his opponent is. And then we get the reveal, Johnny Gargano versus Cassius Ohno. This match was awesome. And Johnny Gargano wins, so Gargano and Killian Dane are the first 2 people in the Fatal 4-Way. And then they did the elbow thing to show respect to each other. So that was WWE. The title of this video, of course, is going to be WWE Talk. So there you go. And shout out to the YouTubers that I watch, by the way. Aaron Riff, Delexman, Wrestle Talk, Fightful, Wrestling Inc.,